Here are the top sectors for the next 4 years because you guys been writing us like crazy.
Pay attention. Pay attention to this.
Screenshot, share with your friends. Tech as usual, right? Healthcare. So keep your eyes, and if you have Google alerts, set your eyes on the COVID task force that Biden is going to create and put together. Number 3.
I think he announced some of the players today.
Yep, and we'll dive into them, and I'll let you get into your bag too, because I want you to come out of hiding. Brother Bonawyn talked about clean energy. So for those of you that got into TAN or know the price for TAN, great job. Defense, and number 5 is industrials. Okay, so tech, healthcare, clean energy, defense, and industrials. And yes, possibly
there he goes.
Marijuana.
Snoop.
So for all of you that have been beating me up forever, kudos.
He's turned the corner, y'all.
At some point, if there is wide legislation nationally, it has not happened yet. It won't happen in 2021. So all of you that are in ACB and, you know, they're still getting chopped up on Tilray, you have to wait. IIPR is still solid, but possibly during this administration, we may see some moves to the upside in this sector. Once again, I want to go on the record and say possibly. So I want you to look at this. During election years, it is 82% positive, the market, and 18% negative. This year would be no different. Type in chat, are we positive for the year or negative? It says the stock market typically has positive returns during election years. And this is played out as we have predicted over and over again. We'll go to the next one for you. So there's one common trend that's apparent since 1929. To all those you that listen to the Republican, sorry for your loss, but you are going to have to put initiatives forth to trying to be political. You guys have to stop messing up the economy during presidential times. Like I can't, like it happened with Bush. It happened again here with Trump. Like if you lower taxes but ruin the economy, it offsets any gains. So strategically, if you're looking at a SWOT analysis, one of the big selling points, if you did muster up the courage to do it, is stability in the market. Less regulation is not always better. So if we go through and look historically, Kennedy 13%, Lyndon B. Johnson 9.7, Nixon flat pretty much, Gerald Ford 6.8. They're not outperforming the Democrats. Okay, Jimmy Carter 8.9, Reagan did pretty solid 18.5. George W. Bush came in 15.4. Great. And then, of course, the war played a huge factor in him losing. Then Clinton came in. Now, of course, Clinton benefited from a great boom in tech, which that was a great timing thing for him. But when you look across the board, the market historically has done better under Democrats than Republicans. Whenever there is a Republican in office, we usually face a recession or a stock market slide. So if you guys go and look, another homework assignment, I want you to go look for the last 8 presidents and see what your gains would have been under each president. It'll help you a lot. Technology stocks will boom a lot over the next 4 years. I'm going to keep beating that drum. So Apple, Microsoft, AMD, Google, NVIDIA are all going to be incredible. Tesla, of course. But I want to walk you through. So the next time we have an election, or if you have cousins that are worried in 2024. So CNN said this November 1st. So if the S&P fell 4% between July 31st and October 31st, it means that the market has decided who will win. This isn't as good as the inverted yield curve, but it's pretty damn close. Kudos to my brother. I didn't mean to crop you out. But the S&P 500 indicator deadline was the end of October. We slid all October. So when everyone was debating, okay, is the market saying who's going to win? If you read the stats, it was saying clearly, yes, we needed a regime change. And then also on NASDAQ, we talked about this before here on Market Mondays. The NASDAQ needs to drop 1,500 points. Days before the election, it dropped 950 points. So if you look at the signs, it was all there of who was going to win. Microsoft, Azim, thank you for this. Microsoft has received an upgrade from Oppenheimer. My personal 5-year target for Microsoft is $318. It's a 5-year target. For those who want to do options on it, I don't know if it's going to be there in 2 years. So this is my 5-year target for Microsoft as a long-term hold. I want to remind you again of your overall plan. Long-term, 4 to 8 positions. 4 to 8. Please type in chat. 4 to 8. Some of you are still making mutual funds. Don't do it. Maximum of 24 swing trades per year. So that's 2 swings max per month. Great. And then 60 intraday trades for the year. I'm going to be real with you. If you ask, can I have more trades? The answer has to be no, because if you do not know what you're risking and what you're, okay, so right, you need to know what your Ulster index is, your profit factor, and your Sortino index. If you do not know what your stats are around trading, you should take less trades. You should take way less trades. Some of you are taking an average in 400 or 500 trades a year and saying, but I know how to trade. The only indication if you know how to trade is if you're profitable at the end of the transaction period and what you're engaging in the market. So less is more. I promise you. And I say this every day in our Red Panda trading room. Less is more. We talked about the 7 mistakes that investors make, and this is the 8th one. Please write this down. Being too early to a sector without institutional backing. Kudos to Gabe, who is a business buddy of mine. He took one of these marijuana companies public when I lived in Colorado. And as soon as he can get out of it, he exited. A lot of you are jumping into sectors hoping that it's going to go up, and not a hedge fund in sight who wants to touch it with a 1,000-foot pole.
That's you know what, Ian, that's crazy. The same thing was said about, the EV market in 2004, right? It was just too early. But right now it's like every EV that comes out is like, oh, that's booming. Yeah, like I just saw Fisker. If you're not familiar with Fisker, I would check that out. It just opened like last week, but it's like, oh wait, their target is going to be $40. They have 9,000 pre-sold cars already, and I'm like, bro, they just hit the market like October 30th. Like, let's give it some time. You know what I'm saying? But it's that time.
Yeah, 2004 when Joe Budden was riding in the Hummer, wasn't the time for it. Shout out to Budden. I appreciate you.
And shout out to the new Hummer.
True. That is, that may have an edge there. So I want you to, we talked about this last week, but I want you to look here under split government. This is what the potential returns could be. Screenshot this, because I don't want you guys to guess what the outcome could be. They're averages. I know everyone wants to make you feel like that it's a mythical creature that no one knows what's going to happen. It's not true. Year 1, year 2 average return, year 3. Under Democratic president, you see, Republican president, you see, and an incumbent, you see what the gains will be. And you can see where the source is as of October 2020.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.